What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Genius CEO. Welcome to another episode of The Late Show. Today, we're going to be covering more information in the David case. Prosecutors finally got his charges in order. We're going to be seeing what they charged him with. I got some videos queued up with ABC News, and we're going to be going through that together. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe and all that good jazz. Let me get this set up. Let me see what's going on. Yeah.
Pop singer David is facing first-degree murder charges in connection with the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez.
Oh, what's that? Hold on. What's that about?
Appeared in court for the first time, pleading not guilty. Hernandez's dismembered body was found.
Hold on. I don't know what that error was about. Let me start that over.
Pop singer David is facing first-degree murder charges in connection with the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Yesterday, David Anthony Burke appeared in court for the first time, pleading not guilty. Hernandez's dismembered body was found in the trunk of Burke's abandoned car last September. Now, prosecutors say they're confident they can prove he killed the 14-year-old girl. But his attorneys say evidence will show he didn't. ABC's Trevor Alt has the latest.
Harrowing new accusations against popular singer David, now charged with first-degree murder and sex crimes in the death of a 14-year-old girl.
A parent's nightmare is a situation.
I'm glad they added sex crimes to that because we wasn't hearing that at all. They were just concerned with the murder. So I'm glad to hear that they added sex crimes because this creep definitely need to be held accountable for that.
Where your daughter goes out one night and never comes back.
The LA District Attorney says the 21-year-old, whose real name is David Burke, had a months-long sexual relationship with that young girl, Celeste Rivas. Investigators believe he killed her after being concerned either Rivas or a third party would report it, and he wanted to protect his status as a rising star. Investigators say last year, April 23rd, Celeste Rivas went to David's house in the Hollywood Hills, and that was the last time she was seen alive. According to the charging documents, he was allegedly lying in wait to kill her and used a sharp instrument as a deadly weapon.
So he lowered her to the crib and then used a sharp weapon, usually a knife or an ice pick, ready to stab this little girl.
September 8th, 2025, Ms. Rivas's dismembered and badly decomposed body was discovered in the front trunk of Mr. Burke's impounded Tesla.
Prosecutors allege in May 2025, David mutilated the body, and the decomposition made the investigation into her cause of death especially difficult.
What makes you confident you can prove these allegations?
The totality of the evidence, we believe we can prove each and every one of these three charges and the special circumstances and the special allegation beyond a reasonable doubt.
And Diane, David's attorney claims the real evidence in this case.
What's sad is this little girl is not going to get a proper burial because her body is already decomposing. And that's gruesome. That's just some gruesome. Yo, Polo, what up, bro? My nigga. What up, my G? A month long? Oh my, yeah. She was in there a month long. Yeah, yikes. It's crazy. Yeah, I hope he's in jail. We need him to do prison. That's what he needs. Jail is different. He needs to go to prison, Polo. Allegedly, yeah. Nah, it's looking like he did that shit. It's looking like he did that shit. For sure.
This will show he did not murder Celeste Rivas and was not the cause of her death. But if convicted, David could face life in prison without parole or even potentially the death penalty. Diane.
Trevor Alt, thank you. And ABC News legal analyst Brian Buckmeyer is here for more. Hi, Brian. So the DA is adamant they can prove Burke murdered Celeste Rivas Hernandez. What do these charges of first-degree murder and sex crimes tell you about the potential evidence they have?
Good morning, Diane. I'm really focusing on these murder in the first degree charges because there are three separate special circumstances. One, that David is
Nah, bro, you got to be focused on all that, man. She was 14. You got to be focused on all that. All that matters. Don't just focus on the murder. We know that. He was inappropriately engaged with this young girl.
Alleged to have been lying in wait, 2, that he did this for financial gains, and 3, that he did this to silence a witness. And when you put those 3 together as a narrative and you heard the presser, what they're arguing here is that because of the relationship that David had, I believe he was 20 or 19 at the time, in which Celeste was alive when she was then 14, he's with a minor. And the allegations are that.
And that's my question, BTMB 88. What business do he have with a 14-year-old girl? Like, because when we first heard about it, they was bringing it up, but they wasn't bringing it up like it was the crime. Like that's one of the major crimes, and then it led to her murder. So that's weird behavior, bro. That's weird behavior, man. And nobody ever, you know what's crazy? BT, no one like thought that was strange. They still allow him to tour and all that. We gotta call, as men, we gotta call this stuff out. You feel me? Oh, it's Breeze. Yo, pimping ice cold. What up, my guy? I'm gonna drop the link. If you want to come up after this segment. We could talk about it on stream. I could drop the link for you, B. For real. And my guy Polo is watching too. He be doing the raps. He be doing the raps. For sure. Yeah. For sure. But it's sad, bro. That could have been like our little cousin or our little sister. You feel what I'm saying? Like that type of behavior got to be dealt with.
David committed this crime not only to hide the fact that he was having this relationship, that's that witness part, but also to save his career, because the obvious assumption is if this was public, he would have lost everything. That's that financial gain part. And then lying wait is the one really intriguing to me, because that tells me the prosecution has some level of information to say that David somehow lured Celeste into an area, waited, and then sprung some sort of trap on her, causing her to be murdered. That's very intriguing to me to see what they have, especially after this very long investigation.
Brian, the motive part of that, they're alleging that he killed Celeste because she was threatening his lucrative music career. How difficult do you think that part will be to prove? And what happens if...
I think that part gonna be easy to prove, because after she allegedly passed, bro started performing with a silver casket in front of the stage, right? That's evidence right there. Bro releasing songs on her birthday and all that. That's evidence right there. I think he used her death to enhance his performance, and I think that's how they're gonna prove that he used it for a profitable gain, for sure.
They can't.
Yeah. So I'll kind of answer in backwards somewhat, Diane. If they can't prove it, then that type of special circumstance murder gets dismissed. But there are still the witness aspect and the lying in wait. So they could still succeed, them being the prosecution.
Yo, Polo, right before I got online, Cuff Boys, on the next video I'm about to review with this, Cuff Boys said they have a possible murder weapon. It's a black knife that he took a picture of in his hand. So he got pictures of him holding the possible murder weapon. And upon examining the decomposed body, they found stab wounds. So it's a possibility. It's a possibility they have a murder weapon.
And what they're trying to do.
Or at least pictures of it.
But if they can't show a financial gain, if they can't show some sort of digital forensics, whether it be a text message or a communication between either David and Celeste or David.
Bro, they should have TikTok stories, Twitch streams, because she appeared on one of his streams or 2 of his streams. You know what I mean? That footage been circulating since the story dropped too. So all that, I think all of that is admissible. I think. I don't know how California going to do it, but I'm pretty sure all of that would be, where my mouse go? I'm pretty sure all of that would be admissible, for sure. Yo, Breeze, I was thinking the same thing. But now that we know that there was a secret investigation, because obviously someone went to the cops and he was messing with this young girl. So I think he just tried to get rid of the, like mob style. He tried to just like off her, it's done. And then he used the murder to enhance his performance, because I think one of his hits was romantic homicide or some shit like that. It was crazy, bro. Yeah, kinda, sorta. It is the city of angels, bro. Some ritual. Yeah, it seemed like it. Yeah, I guess so, y'all. But do you think he can beat it? Nah, I mean, yeah. with Tory lawyer, nah, I don't think he could beat it, Polo. I don't think he could beat it, because if Tory could get locked up without having evidence of his DNA on the gun, he can't beat this case with the body being found in his car up the block from his house he was leasing. You feel what I'm saying? Nah, he got some, he got enough. You know what I'm saying? He got enough. Apparently this dude was a big deal in that emo crowd. Yeah. So, it's too much evidence that lead to him. And even if he don't get the murder, he's going to get with the messing with the minor. You feel me? But I think they going to pardon that to make sure they get him on this murder, because she ended up in the trunk, bro. The frunk. She ended up in the front, bro. Oh, damn.
The death of Celeste Rivas.
Inside of a trunk, inside 2 different plastic bags, her body would be heavily decomposed. But if they can find anything in terms of toxicology or any kind of injuries on the bone fragments that were still found, and then have some sort of corroboration with a witness, like someone close to David who said, yes, he did X, Y, and Z, that information, that corroboration could be very damning for David's case.
Brian, the DA says they could seek the death penalty, but they'll.
Yeah, Breeze. In the frunk is crazy, bro. In the front is crazy, because them Teslas ain't got no engine. So that big compartment in the front, she was in 2 bags. She was in half. You feel me? She was in half. Somebody gotta pay. And I think it's gonna be this dude, bro.
Determine that.
I think him and anybody that knew he was messing with her should get punished.
Later. What goes into that decision, and why not make it now?
Yeah, so the fact that we have these special circumstances along with the murder charges, that lying in wait, the financial gain, the going after a witness, that allows them to upgrade a murder from life in prison without parole to the death penalty.
Woo! America love to upgrade them charges. They like to upgrade them charges. They said they could upgrade it to the death penalty. You feel me? So they aiming for the stars. So even if he take a plea, he getting life without parole.
And what goes into this is who the victim is. Are they seriously vulnerable? A 14-year-old girl, I think, would fall into that category. Who is the defendant? What is his record? What is the heinousness of the crime? Dismemberment of a body, talking to the victim's family, who I'm assuming would want the harshest of punishment. Having that conversation and evaluating the case is what goes into this, and they'll determine, not today, because they like to take their time and kind of dot their I's and cross their T's, but sometime later on in the days and weeks and potentially months, as to whether or not they seek the death penalty against David.
All right, Brian Buckmeyer, always great to have your analysis.
Like, yo, real talk. Real talk, y'all. I don't know what type of friends this guy got, because I can't be around no dude who's messing with a teenager, bro. A minor at that. Like, she not even 18, bro. So I don't even understand how was she even on your radar. You feel me? Like, that's some that's sick. I know the age difference is only like 6 years, but like, as you become a man at 18, the laws are different for you, for you. You feel me? She's 14 years old, bro. That means she was off limits from the rip. From the rip, she was off limits. And we gotta call out niggas who be preying on these little girls, bro. You know what I mean? On another stream, we gonna have to talk about the women are feeling unsafe. They trying to batch all men into this unsafe group. We gonna have to talk about it. You feel me? But yo, look, I got this other video with Cuff Boys. He gonna break down David's plea. David pleaded not guilty, and he's gonna break down the actual paperwork and all that, so we can see that. Let me get that ready. You feel me? He gonna break it down. I love Cuff Boys. He got me through the Young Thug trial. So as I'm reviewing this case, I'm going off his word because he be on point. I like him and lead attorney. But yeah, man. The more details that come out about this story, the more crazy it sound, bro. Like this dude had a weird obsession with this little girl.
Guilty, apparently, in court moments ago.
David Burke, that's case number 26 CJC F02399.
Good morning or good afternoon, Your Honor. Blair Burke, Marilyn Bednarski, and Regina Peter on behalf of our client, David Burke, who's in custody.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Burke.
Attorney Beth Silverman to the people, Your Honor.
Thank you. And counsel, on behalf of your client, do you waive formal reading of the complaint, advisement of rights, including armed forces and veterans' rights, enter a plea of not guilty, denying any and all special allegations, enhancements, and
Yeah, but you know what, Polo? That might be true, but I don't want it to be too soon. You feel me? It can't be too soon. He need a little bit of that frontier justice. You feel what I'm saying? They probably got him in isolation right now. I don't even think he would general pop because he got a little bread, and his lawyers is I think one of these lawyers. I'm not sure if it's the one with the long hair or the short hair, but he got some high priced lawyers. These some good lawyers over here, like for sure. But I hope it ain't too soon. He got to do at least 10 before they decide to put that needle in him if they give him the death penalty.
priors,
Yes, Your Honor.
and requesting a preliminary hearing.
Shout out to the 23 people watching on the vertical and the horizontal. Make sure y'all like the video. If you're on the vertical, come over to the horizontal side, engage in the chat.
Within the period.
Yes, Your Honor. From the media
He looks pissed.
reports, apparently there have been 4 months of secret grand jury proceedings. We believe that Mr. Burke is entitled at the earliest opportunity to an open preliminary hearing and the proceedings not be done in secret. So we are asking.
So he want to know what people were saying. That's part of the discovery, right? He want to know what people been saying about him so he can know, you know what I mean, what deals to take and whatnot. Nah, G, let them get their information.
For a preliminary hearing to be set at the earliest possible date on the 10th day. Your Honor, we believe the actual evidence will show David Burke did not murder Celeste.
Yo, Polo, they gonna do more than clip them. You know what I'm saying? That PDF stuff don't fly on the inside. That's with nobody, right? But he got to make it to prison to even get that. You feel me? Right now he in jail. He might be in an individual cell or in solitary confinement in the box because he's considered high profile, right? He ain't gonna be with General Pop until conviction, and I don't even know when the trial's supposed to start. They say in June, but it's so much information in the discovery that they think it might not even start in June. It might start somewhere around August, September, November, later this year, or maybe even next year. Look how long Thug had to sit.
Rivas Hernandez, nor was he the cause of her death. And we would like to be able to have the evidence come into the light of day at the earliest opportunity in order to establish that. We're asking for April 23rd as a 3 of 10, Your Honor.
So they want April 23rd in 3 days for the preliminary hearing. Holy shit, man.
Anything from the people?
We'll be very happy to put on the evidence that we've collected in this case in the last several months.
Look at the state. Look at the way she just said that. Flipped her hair.
This case in the last several months.
Thank you. So the matter will.
Yeah, that yo, that hair flip, she got him. I think she got him, y'all. I think she got him with that hair flip. Yeah.
Be said, plea of not guilty has been entered on behalf of Mr. Burke. The matter will be set in. The matter is ordered assigned to Judge Charlene Almeida in Department.
You see that nod?
In Department 105. The matter is ordered assigned to Judge Charlene Almeida in Department 105 for all purposes by the judge of the supervising judge of criminal.
Yes, Your Honor. If I may just put on the record, we have, as soon as the people arrive, delivered a.
Like, who is he nodding to? Like, who is he nodding to that could be in like okay with the fact that a minor was found in his frunk and that he was messing with a minor? That person need to be brought in for questioning.
Informal discovery request consistent with Penal Code Section 1054. We have been
So they want discovery, obviously.
given almost no discovery thus far. We've received a 3-page follow-up report, no autopsy report, and a copy of the complaint. And we would ask the people respectfully to.
That autopsy going to be that autopsy probably taking a really long time to find out the actual cause of death, because these examiners, these forensic examiners is working with a decomposed body, right? See, the thing is, when you die, they put you in the freezer and then they embalm you. So to stop the body from, they pump they drain all of the bodily fluids, and then they embalm you to kind of, it's like a preservative, so you won't break down. Her body was in the frunk for months. It's already broken down. So I know those forensic people are having a hard time trying to find out an official cause of death.
To produce discovery at the earliest opportunity.
Your Honor, as I indicated to counsel, there's approximately 40 terabytes of discovery in this case.
40 terabytes? Is that just digital evidence and shit? It's probably pages and pages of text messages, email bullshit, Facebook, Instagram, like Snapchat.
Moreover, in order to
40 terabytes is a lot of data. 40 terabytes, that's way more than just Instagrams and texts and all that. That's video. That's a lot of video. So they probably going to be scrubbing through his streams when he's playing the game, his streams when he's just doing the music stuff on Twitch. 40 terabytes is a lot.
obtain the transcripts from a grand jury investigation, counsel has to file a motion. She knows the way the system works. I'm not able to gather those. They have to be provided after the court orders them released because it was an investigation. Second of all, if counsel plans on going to a preliminary hearing within the 10 days, it is unlikely that there will be very much discovery provided within that period, given the voluminous nature and how long it's going to take to copy onto drives. In addition to that, the coroner's report was sealed in this case in order to prevent it from hampering.
So, Polo, to answer your question, I think his best case scenario would be a speedy trial, because ain't no way they're going to be able to search through all those 40 terabytes of data in no 10 days. You're going to have like the whole law firm on that. And that's likely impossible because everybody else got all these other cases. 40 terabytes is a lot, but then a speedy trial might hurt them because he still don't know what evidence that the prosecutor has access to. And right now, the prosecutor just says she has to file a motion. His lawyer wasn't prepared in court this day to file a motion so she can get discovery. So she got to file a motion with the clerk, give it to the judge, and then the judge will order the prosecutor to hand over the evidence. So apparently the investigation is still going, so they don't have access to complete court documents at the moment. So it's not looking good for him right now.
Truthful testimony from witnesses that testified at the grand jury, so an order will also have to be obtained in order to get the coroner's department, which is now the medical examiner's department, to release those materials.
Your Honor, it's surprising news given the district attorney's office held a press conference this morning where they discussed the cause of death. Apparently,
his lawyer is really lawyering right now, right? They did have a press conference. That was that first video we just watched, but the lawyer is playing the media game right now. That's smart as a defense attorney.
Under seal and not released by the coroner's office, as did the robbery homicide unit to the press. So we would again reiterate, we believe that Mr. Burke is entitled to discovery. We have served the people with notice. They have 15 days to produce discovery in this.
This is intense. This man taking this shit to trial. And if he does,
she's smug with it, Polo, cause she knows she got him. That's what that hair flip was. You know how chicks are when they flip their hair. That's like that was before they was doing this, right? Cause she got him, Po. She got him, big dog. What else you said? That's more than my whole, yeah. And look how long your catalog is. And those are songs. You feel me? So they got all that video, all the text, all the snappy chats, all that. They got all of that. She making it. Yeah. Yeah, she's a great lawyer. She's a great lawyer to play that media game, because now she's when she said that, she's playing to the public. And if she does a press conference, the public gonna be like, hey, you know, justice, you know, black man, all this. Nah, bro. It's a body in your frunk. Nah, bro, we got you. Yo, sit down, no bail.
doesn't waive his right to a speedy trial. This has to start in 60 days, right? Or am I tripping? June 20th.
Case, we would ask that they do that in conscientious earnestness and as quickly as possible.
I'd ask the court to make an order today. We'll take a copy of the minute order ordering the Department of Medical Examiner to release their coroner's report in this case.
Thank you.
The court will order that the medical examiner release the report in this case forthwith.
Thank you.
The matter set in Department 105, as the court indicated, April 23rd, 2026, as a 3 of 10 p.m. Anything further?
No, not at this time.
Bail to stand at no bail. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Wow, both sides seem so confident.
No bail. I knew he wasn't getting no bail. You can't get no, like, bro, you're not getting out and it's a body in your trunk. It's no way you getting out and it's a body. It's no bail. Like even if it was $10 million, he ain't got 10 million. And his label not willing to put up 10 million, because if the label's putting up 10 million to protect him when he's at this point a known PDF, that's bad business. That's bad business. It's not looking good for Duke. It's not looking good for Duke at all. But yo, look, we're gonna go into another video. This is what CNN had to say. So this is the full-on official press conference that his good ass lawyer, she is a good lawyer for bringing it up. This is the press conference that the lawyer was talking about right here. Hold on, let me pull that up. This is the press conference the lawyer was talking about right here, right? So listen to this. Listen to these charges.
Announcing the charges against David Anthony Burke, the musician known as David, spelled D4VD, in connection with the brutal and horrific murder of Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time. These charges include the most serious charges that a DA's office can bring. That is first-degree murder with special circumstances. The special circumstances being lying in wait, committing this crime for financial gain, or murdering a witness in an investigation. These special circumstances carry with it, along with the first-degree murder charge, a maximum sentence of life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. The determination on whether or not the district attorney's office will seek the death penalty will be made at a later time. Before I get into the actual charges, and there are additional charges.
Yo, is it just me, or do these officers got a lot of stripes on their sleeve? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stripes on his sleeve. God damn, how long he been a cop? He got 8 stripes on the sleeve and 4 stars on his neck. Damn.
Is against Mr. Burke, including continuous sexual acts, lewd and lascivious sexual acts with an individual under 14 years old, and mutilating a human remains of a body. Before I get into the description of these charges.
That's the part that was so sad, y'all. She was found in pieces. She was found in pieces. And
their seriousness, I want to look at this as a parent. I am a parent of 3 children, and a parent's nightmare is a situation where your daughter goes out one night and never comes back. As we will show in a court of law, and what I also want to make sure about that the understanding of these charges is clear, is my description of these charges is not evidence that we are going to present in court. These charges, in fact, will not be evidence in the court. Evidence will be the witness testimony, the documents, and different types of admissible testimony that we will admit into court in the prosecution, and if it leads to the eventual trial of Mr. Burke, to convince a jury of 12 people beyond a reasonable doubt that each and every one of these charges is true, as well as the special allegations and circumstances that have been alleged. Now, back to this being a parent's nightmare. On April 23rd, 2025, has been alleged by the complaint, Celeste, a 14-year-old at that.
yeah, it is egregious. It is egregious. Yeah, they got witnesses, and the witnesses already testified before a grand jury. You feel me? Niggas know he was with a minor. Niggas know. Yeah, yes, he's cooked. It's over. Like, I heard 3 main charges, bro. You know, inappropriate behavior with a minor, right? Dismemberment of a body, and then the murder. Either one of those, you going in. You going in. Off rip. You going in. I dropped the link in the chat too. If y'all want to get up, just cam up and click the link in the chat. I'm going to continue.
Time went to Mr. Burke's house in the Hollywood Hills. She was never heard from again. On September 8th, 2025, as alleged in the complaint, Miss Celeste remains, her dismembered and decomposed remains were found in 2 bags inside of a front trunk of a car registered to Mr. Burke. Thereafter,
yo, think about this, man. Y'all remember the original Mummy? Well, not the original. Well, I guess the one from like 1998. Remember when they found the mummy and they was like, "Ugh, he's still decomposing." This little girl was decomposing in a frunk in California. You know how hot it is? Remember, the car only got reported because of it, the smell. The smell was so bad that they had to tow the car. That's nasty.
Began an investigation. The investigation was to determine who killed, who murdered Celeste months and months before. That investigation was carried out in unison and in partnership between the LAPD's Robbery Homicide Division and the District Attorney's Office. At every point in the investigation, through the arrest and the filing of charges, the LAPD and the District Attorney's Office have worked in lockstep. There's been no disagreements amongst these entities in deciding how to proceed with this case, ultimately leading to these charges today. So what you have as well with these charges is that, again, there are 3 sets of charges that have been brought. The first-degree murder with special circumstances. And again, those special circumstances are lying in wait. That Celeste went to Mr. Burke's home on the night of April 23rd, 2025, as alleged in the complaint, at his invitation, and again, was not heard from again. The second is a special circumstance being that this murder was committed for financial gain. As the evidence will show in court, the financial gain was...
I think that financial gain evidence will be that casket and that releasing the song on her birthday. You feel me? Special circumstances.
For Mr. Burke to maintain his very lucrative musical career that Celeste was threatening.
So it's a possibility that Celeste told him, look, I'm about to go to the cops because you acting weird and I don't like it no more and I want to leave. And if you don't do something about it, I'm going to the authorities. And he lured her over there after and then dismembered her body or got somebody else to dismember her body because they don't have no footage of that.
On that particular night. The third charge, in addition to lying in wait and for financial gain, is murdering a witness to an investigation. In this particular case, as the evidence will come out in court, the witness to the investigation was Celeste. And
see, that means they was already investigating him dealing with a minor. So that means somebody already went to the authorities about it, which is good. Which is good. You know, I think he would have had a better chance beating that charge in California. You know how they moving with this map business. Oh man, that's another stream. When we talk about maps, they getting into a whole nother situation. Maps, when you hear people, if you're a parent watching this, right, and you hear them talking about maps, or you see like a flag that have like baby blue, powder blue, white, then like powder pink, baby pink, that flag represents the map community. The map community stands for minor attracted persons. Right? That's what that means. It don't mean that they acted on it, but it means it's a minor attracted persons. So look out for that term, maps. What you say, Batman? That seems halfway right. We're missing something. What you think we missing, man? I dropped a link. You could jump up. Let me drop it again in the chat. What you think we missing, man? Because, man, yo, yeah, he's super cooked. Yeah, he's done. He's done. Freakazoid, but beyond Freakazoid, you heard? If you're talking about that maps, that's beyond Freaka. And what's crazy, Breeze, they trying to normalize it. The maps people is trying to get in with LGBTQ or whatever other alphabet they added to the front of it. And the LGB community is like the T and the Q don't even need to be involved with us because they something totally different. That whole community is something different right now, bro. And I agree. They need their own. I say, yo, give them Rhode Island. Give them their own state at this point. For sure. They got that little blue and white symbol for the boys too. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting mad. And you know what's crazy, Breeze? I was telling them when I believe the year was, I think it was 2019. Yeah, because I just stopped working sanitation at that time. I was in a creative space, right, Breeze? And like I'm conversating with these non-binary and two-spirited people, right? And I'm like, y'all like are like, I told this one, them, they, whatever, right? I was like, y'all kind of like opening the way for PDFs, and they like, oh no, that's the extreme. It was the extreme in 2019. Here we are 7 years later. They got a flag, they got a movement, they got the trans people in Congress trying to lower the age for corn sites so that children can watch it, as far so it's considered sexual education. It's like they blurring the lines of morality, and they coming for the kids. You feel me? So it's real freakazoid stuff, bro. You really got to watch out where you put your kids, man. They've been trying to make age. Yeah, they have. They had us locked in the crib, right? Remember that big thing that was going on with the kids, the people luring kids into doing strange things on Roblox, right? It's getting crazy. Yeah, they making really, man. I dropped the link in the chat. Click the link in the chat. Come up so we could talk about it, bro. Like for real. Oh wow. I think she saw something she wasn't supposed to see, so it had to be addressed. I don't think he did it. I think he allowed it and gave her up. So that means it's conspiracy. I think conspiracy come with a 25-year sentence, 25 to life sentence, right? Conspiracy to murder charge, right? Conspiracy charge. That come with at least 20. I know that. Right? Yes, sir. Yeah. So he got to do something. But you know, like my man Paul was saying, he gonna get flipped when he get up top because yo, bro, you was messing with a minor at the end of the day. You feel me? You on the train? All right. Yeah, this is wild, bro.
Investigation was into the lewd and lascivious sexual acts committed by Mr. Burke. That is the subject of count 2 of this complaint with Celeste while she was under 14 years old. I had the chance to meet with some of the family members of Celeste, and their grief is incalculable as to what happened to their daughter. What they have demanded, what we have assured them that the district attorney's office working with LAPD would give them is the idea, is the proof beyond a reasonable doubt on who killed their daughter, on how.
See, I don't know if y'all been following the case as much as me, but what I learned is that Celeste was in therapy since she was 11 years old. So for the last 3 years of her life, she was in therapy, and she was talking with the therapist, explaining that, you know, the home was too strict. And that's kind of like the norm in like Latin homes. I think she was Ecuadorian, right? Celeste Hernandez, I believe is Ecuadorian or Venezuelan. I think it's Ecuadorian. I heard her say I'm Ecuadorian when she was arguing with the people. And I think it was too strict, and like David gave her like this facade of being around him was a safe place. You feel me? So I don't know. Yo, what up, Bat Works? Thanks for tuning in, man. I appreciate you, brother. For real. So yeah, and with that, I was saying on my last stream I did about David that like you can be strict, but sometimes it's key to insert a little bit of gentle parenting so that your child can feel safe at home, so they don't feel like they have to be outside the home to feel safe. You know, home should always feel safe for children, women and children. I see you ladies. I ain't forget about y'all. The house should feel safe for women and children, and especially the children, because I, as a dad, I got 2 daughters, I got 3 little boys. I can't imagine hearing that my child has been dismembered and found in a trunk and her body's already decomposed. That means it's a closed casket. You feel what I'm saying? And as a parent, the worst thing that can happen to you is to end up having to bury your child. You know what I mean? So when it comes to parenting, we gotta have that. We gotta perfect that delicate balance of discipline and then like safety. It's difficult for some, but then it's a major component that has to be inserted into every household. Unless you want the city involved, and trust me, you don't want that.
Their daughter
Especially California.
was killed when their daughter was killed, and bring that killer to justice. That killer that we have now charged is David Anthony Burke. We will have questions after I speak and Chief McDonald speaks. At this point, I invite Chief.
This dude initials is DAB, David Anthony Burke.
McDonald to speak.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you all for being here. I want to begin by expressing my deepest condolences to the parents of Celeste Rivas. No parent or any human being should have to endure what you've gone through. Today, alongside DA Hockman and our partners at the LA County District Attorney's Office, and thanks to the tireless and hard work of our investigators at the LAPD, we're announcing the arrest and prosecution of David Burke for the murder of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas. Throughout the 7-month investigation, this department has faced criticism for how we handled the case and for our decision not to provide details. I want to be clear about something. My duty is not to fuel speculation, it's to deliver justice, and that requires patience and discipline on everybody's part.
Yeah, man. I mean, from all the information that was released at first, like the internet already solved it. The court of public opinion already got this man being guilty. And the difference is cops and detectives and prosecutors, they got to cross their I's and dot their T's. So they got to get the actual facts. We can all speculate that this man is innocent or guilty, but the facts will come out and they got to do their job. And sometimes, you know, it takes time. It takes time. Look at the Young Thug case. They had all the rap lyrics and all this stuff, and they had him in jail for like 2.5 years or 2 years. And then they still ended up botching the case, right? It's you got to let them do their work. We've been spoiled with these social media and this instant gratification. We got to let the cops do their job, bro, for sure. So I was kind of tight that it took so long, but when they made their arrest, he ain't coming out, no bail.
This investigation was driven by a single purpose: to secure justice for Celeste Rivas and for those who loved her. We had to be certain that nothing we did or said would ever jeopardize this case. Ms. Rivas was a reported runaway from Riverside County. During the course of our investigation, detectives learned that she had been involved in a sexual relationship with Mr. Burke when she was a minor and he was an adult.
That's the initial investigation that he was tampering with. So more charges is going to be thrown on to this case with those special circumstances, because witnesses already done testified to the grand jury.
On April 23rd, 2025, Ms. Rivas arrived at Mr. Burke's home in the Hollywood Hills. That's the last time she was known to be alive. On September 8th, 2025, Ms. Rivas's dismembered and badly decomposed body was discovered in the front trunk of Mr. Burke's impounded Tesla. From that moment forward, our investigators faced an extraordinary, difficult, and complex case. The condition of her remains delayed the medical examiner's ability to be able to determine cause of death.
See, yeah, I know that's difficult, man. You going through you're going through rotten human flesh trying to see where wounds are, and you gotta like test it, and you gotta be very careful so you won't damage it. So every piece that you examine gotta be handled delicately, and it's smelling, and it's I know they had a hard time. I know they had a hard time. They probably got a lot of overtime pay working on that too. They probably gonna need therapy after working on that.
The substantial amount of time that passed between her death and the discovery meant that crucial evidence had degraded or disappeared. And as detectives worked to uncover the truth, they also had to sift through and debunk a great deal of false information circulating publicly. These challenges were real, and they required patience, precision, and an unwavering commitment to the facts. Despite these obstacles and despite intense public pressure, our Robbery Homicide Division detectives remained steadfast in their duties. They recovered and analyzed a substantial amount of digital and forensic evidence. They stayed focused, disciplined, and committed to uncovering the truth. Their work, in close collaboration with the District Attorney's Office, has brought us to this moment today. I want to thank the District Attorney and his team, as always, for their partnership. This case demanded coordination, persistence, and a shared commitment to justice. Also, thank you to our media partners for showing up today and for sharing this important message with the public. And finally, to Ms. Rivas's family, we cannot undo the pain you are feeling. Our hope is that today brings some measure of accountability and a step in the journey toward healing. Please know that the Los Angeles Police Department remains fully committed to seeking justice on behalf of your daughter. Thank you.
So at this point, we'll take questions.
Anything more you can tell us about the fact that she was a witness in the pending investigation, that she reported the abuse, who was doing that investigation?
The details of the allegations that have made, particularly with that special circumstance, will be produced in court.
You believe the difficulty was to determine both the matter, cause, and date?
So with respect to the coroner's report, we will be seeking quite quickly to provide an order to the court that now allows the coroner to release that report to the public.
Do you believe that he acted?
Between the finding of the body of Celeste's body or her remains, why has it taken so long for an arrest to be made?
I think the police chief got it right, that in a situation where you don't have an eyewitness account, or we can't point to a video that shows the killer killing someone, you have to go through the very rigorous and thorough investigation to look at all the digital and forensic evidence. You have to speak with witnesses, often who are cooperative and some who are not cooperative, in order to obtain all the information necessary to decide who did what, when, how, and what their mental state was at the time. That is what we've been doing over the last, between September 8th, roughly, and today when we bring these charges on April 20th. So again, it's a type of case.
So she was last seen alive in September. I mean, she was last seen alive in April 2025. She was found in September 8th, 2025. So that's April, May, June, July, August, September. She was in the front for 6 months. She was in the front for 6 months. And bro put together a whole new show set and continued to tour. Bro don't have no humanity, man. Now I understand why the women are scared.
That you want to make sure you get maximum information. And by the way, if there's anyone out there that has material information about this particular murder or any other actions taken by Mr. Burke, please come forward to the Los Angeles Police Department, come forward to the LA County DA's office, and report that information.
Mr. Hochman, there are other people who were aware of this relationship. Is it possible that you will be arresting other people within his circle? And did he act alone in this death?
That was a great question. That's the question that's on the back of everybody's minds. That was a great question.
Again, with respect to whether or not there's any other individuals or we're going to take any other actions, you will know about them if we do, but at this point, I'm not commenting.
Do you believe that you know how she was killed beyond it being homicide? The actual cause of death?
The coroner's report will be released shortly. Because it is not currently released, I'm not going to be commenting.
But was it determined, not that, if you won't say what it was, but has it been determined how she was killed beyond it being homicide?
The coroner has made a determination on how Celeste died, and at the point that the coroner's report becomes public, we'll be able to comment.
Was there a specific breakthrough last week? Is there?
I think that's what they was waiting for. They was waiting for the coroner to say how, because they already got the body, right? That's one of the main points to proving a murder. You got to have a body, right? To beat a murder, the body got to be gone, but they got a body. Now, the cause of death. He's not commenting. That means they know, the law enforcement knows. We just saw the lawyer ask for that documentation, right? And I think we'll be hearing more on the 23rd. But that lady asked a great question before this dude.
Physical evidence that ties David to this murder?
There is physical evidence and there is forensic and digital evidence that we intend to present in court to prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt.
So within your investigation, and just to his question, are you able to tell us exactly what the smoking gun is? And also, if you can address the issue of his visit to Santa Barbara, and that, how does it connect with the murder?
So with respect to the actual details of the evidence we're going to be presenting in court, I'm not going to do that today. As far as the concept of a smoking gun, the smoking gun is the totality of the evidence that we're going to bring to prove any case, whether it's this case or any case, beyond a reasonable doubt. An investigation is ongoing. If information comes forward on with respect to any additional.
I think the fact that they're doing a press conference about this right now, that they got enough evidence to like put this man away for a long time, right? Because we still don't know what the witness testified and said. We already know he's been messing with the girl. There's a body in his car. Now they got the cause of death coming from the supposed cause of death coming from the coroner. And I think that's why they're doing the press conference before they did this discovery in court. But yeah, man, that's sad. We're gonna stop sharing that right now, man. Some sad stuff. Yeah, man, prayers up for the family. We got to protect the kids. It's just, I'm gonna say the cliche thing. You just can't imagine what these parents are going through to find out that their young daughter, who they tried to protect, who they put in therapy, they were at least trying to make the home a better place for her to stay, right? It even got out that the mother was even sleeping in her room to prevent her from running away and spending days and weeks with David at a time. So, her mother and her father is probably feeling just terrible right now. Just terrible. But look, I'm gonna pivot into something else because last week, these New York streets has been wilding. They have been wilding in New York, but our mayor, Zoran Mandani, the self-proclaimed Democratic Socialist, this one's for him.
Allahu Akbar.
He will claim that the streets are safe. We don't believe you, bro. The streets not safe. Yo, come check out all this crime with me in New York City. That's just this week, past 7 days.
Case of mistaken identity leads to a violent arrest caught on camera. And a man with a machete is shot by police in Grand Central Station. Plus,
I didn't do it. I didn't know it was going to happen.
The suspects in the deadly shooting of a baby go before a judge. Right now, Fox 5's Crime in the City. For our first story this week, we begin in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn. That's where a violent arrest inside a liquor store is now under investigation.
Look at that. Cops messing up, beating somebody up, mistaken identity. Look, they was wailing on him. They was wailing on him, and it wasn't even the guy. AD don't be believing me when I was telling him that the New York City police be bugging. Look at this. Mistaken out. They was way. Look at them.
After police said the incident stemmed from a case of mistaken identity.
And you know, the mayor commented about this yesterday on X. Today, he did take questions. You will be hearing from him in just a moment. But first, the man who was seen in that video being beaten and punched by a...
He got him by the, he throwing haymakers. He trying to put him to sleep. They swinging him in the doors and all that. That's not even the guy. It was the wrong guy. Yo, I'm laughing because it's like being from Bed-Stuy, you will see stuff like this all the time, bro, but it hardly ever make the news, bro. He was wailing on him. He throwing straight NyQuil at Duke.
2 NYPD detectives. His name is Timothy Brown. I am told that there is a civil rights organization that is currently working with him to secure a lawyer. And at some point, he and his legal team will be speaking to the media. But go ahead.
Yeah. He got the civil rights movement behind him. He about to get that bread. He about to get that bread. Gold about to be raining for them skies with this dude. He deserved it too. They was throwing sleepers at him.
Take a look at this video here. Once again, this viral video. This all went down about 4 o'clock on Tuesday afternoon. Now, 2 narcotics detectives from Brooklyn North. You can see them there. They are punching Mr. Brown. They are, in one case, kicking him twice. Then he crashes into a shelf.
Damn, it looked like he damn near like broke his rib. It looked like. Watch.
2 narcotics detectives from Brooklyn North. You can see them there.
Wow, wait, where that one hit? Where he hit him right there?
Tuesday afternoon. Now, 2 narcotics detectives from Brooklyn North. You can see them there. They are punching Mr. Brown. They are, in one case, kicking him twice. Then he crashes into a shelf of glass bottles. They drag him to the door. And there is a woman on the video. You can hear her voice. She's the one that's recording the video. And she continues to yell at the 2 detectives, "Why are you punching him?" The detectives, in the meantime, they are continuing to yell at Mr. Brown to stop resisting, to roll over and put his hands.
He literally kicked him in the ass right there. And now my camera acting up. This is wild. Yeah, he literally kicked him in the ass. Watch this. Look.
They are continuing to yell at Mr. Brown to stop resisting, to roll over and put his hands behind his back. Now, the NYPD is telling Fox 5 that the detectives, as well as other undercover police.
Once they got you on the ground, just roll over and put your hands on your back, bro. Behind your back, man. For real. Because you just going to get a worse beating. You already lost. But you're going to win. You lost the battle, but you're going to win the war, man. Saying go sit down, go to the hospital, get that lawsuit money.
Officers were conducting a drug sweep operation after the community here complained about drug dealing. Now,
damn, he just stomped on his hand. He just stomped on his hand, y'all.
One undercover officer had just bought crack cocaine, according to the NYPD, from a suspect.
Damn, stepping on his knee? What if he got knee problems? Look at him stepping on his knee.
And the department says the detectives were given a description of another suspect that matched Timothy Brown's. However, police, as we now know, and as we knew late yesterday, had the wrong man. Here,
he's standing on his knee like Captain Morgan making a phone call.
here's the sound. Here's what the mayor had to say earlier today.
I've shared my thoughts on the fact that it is not only incredibly disturbing, but also unacceptable. And that investigation, as it continues, these two detectives have been placed on modified duty. And as we have updates in that investigation,
he can't fire them just yet. They ain't got enough police up here in New York, man. I think we like 10,000 cops short, right? Can't fire them. Modified duty. They still getting a check. Look at that. Y'all gotta watch this guy right here, man. He's a smooth talker. He's a smooth talker. I see how he won. Bro don't answer questions directly. He talk around it. And he talks. But if you listen, he never really answered a question.
Wants to share with the public, then I will do so. When it comes to delivering on the needs of any community across the city, I have confidence in the NYPD's ability to do so.
And also today, I interviewed a retired NYPD lieutenant who is also a criminal justice expert. And he was telling me he has seen the video. It's about 7.5 minutes long. He watched it. And as far as he is concerned, he says that the two detectives, they acted improperly here, that it was excessive force.
Obviously, ain't none of that what they did protocol. He wasn't even trying to fight. He just trying to understand, like, yo, why y'all attacking me? That's wild.
It was clearly an example of excessive force. When we look to the force that was used in this video, we had a passively resisting subject. So with a passively resisting subject, the officer should have used restraint techniques, such as grabbing their hands, grabbing his arms, and trying to bring him to the ground that way, not punching the subject in the face or throughout the body.
All right, now, as we have known since yesterday, the two detectives placed on...
He got a clean one off right there. Look, they're already grabbing him right there. See, right there, you kick him in the... you kick him right behind the knee. That'll get him to his knee. Watch this. Watch how he soccer. He got a clean one off. Watch this.
All right, now, as we have known since...
Right there, he got him. Clean. He got one right there, clean. Watch it again.
Or throughout the body.
All right, now, as we have known since yesterday, the two detectives placed on modified duty. Their badges and their guns have been taken from them. But people here in this community, they want the two detectives fired. Dr. Porcher, who you just heard from there, Dr. Darren Porcher, is telling me that is very unlikely to happen. He said what is more likely is that they will lose vacation days or be placed on disciplinary probation for a year. But he says they will probably not lose their jobs.
He said no vacation for you. They ain't losing their job. They still getting a check. The New York citizens, us, we still paying them. But they ain't got no badge. So what they doing? They doing desk work. That's desk duty. They probably writing parking tickets.
We now travel to St. Albans, Queens, where a 15-year-old boy was shot in a playground and later died.
So we're told this shooting happened inside of this playground right here behind me, and police are still working on getting to the bottom of who was behind.
15-year-old shot, right? Y'all think new gun laws is going to stop criminals from getting guns? I'm pretty sure the person that shot this 15-year-old didn't own that gun legally. So what is a new law going to do? Right? That's why certain gun laws don't make no sense. I want y'all to go look into what they doing in Virginia with the gun laws. They trying to ban, they trying to legislate your magazine size, and they don't want you to get assault pistols. Assault pistols is an AR without a fixed stock. So like Dracos, that's considered a pistol.
And we'll tell you what we know, but take a look at this video here from Citizen App. It was taken earlier here on the scene where there was a large NYPD presence in response to this deadly shooting. It claimed the life of a 15-year-old boy. As images show, police tape wrapped around the entrance of this playground. And so far, police have not identified the teen victim hit in the incident, but they report around 6:15 he was shot in the chest. He was taken to Jamaica Hospital around 2.5 miles away from where we're standing. And doctors, despite...
I lived in Jamaica in 2024. Jamaica Hospital be packed. I had a toothache, not Nah, was it a toothache? Nah, I had like a cut on my cheek in the inside that got infected and it swelled up. And they had me sitting there for like 7 hours to get an antibiotic pill that had that thing go away in about 15 minutes. I was so pissed. I'm like, it was a big pill too. The pill was really like the size of this top. That's how big the pill was. It was hard to swallow. Pause on that, right? And it fixed my mouth. Pause again, real quick, 15 minutes.
Their efforts to save the teen's life shared the victim died at the hospital. Now, the fact this happened at a playground this evening.
Wait, what? They say he died at the hospital?
To save the teen's life, shared the victim died at the hospital. Now, the fact this happened at a playground this evening. Hard to fathom for neighbors here in Queens tonight.
I actually walk in this area every single night after work. I go to Roy Wilkins. I walk for 3 miles every day. So to see this as I'm coming off the bus from work is like shocking to me. Like there's never any activity out here. Like with the kids are just playing. They're not like fighting or anything like that. So to hear that somebody has been shot is just like a complete shock.
Now, sis,
I want to know what part of Jamaica, Queens she from, because when I was out there, they was letting it off. You know what I mean? People be capping when they get in front of these cameras. Last year, they was letting it off. Right? They had the niggas over there catching pigeons, serving you goddamn chicken over rice. It was wild over there when I was over there in 2024.
So we've been here. We've seen investigators less than an hour ago carrying out evidence from.
I ain't even like taking the train. I just stayed my ass in the house because I had to get off at Jamaica Center. And you got the weed niggas upstairs, right? Still trying. They be there all day. You'll leave. You'll go to Jamaica Center. Say you were there at 8 in the morning and you come back at 11 at night. Them same niggas is right there all day. That mean they ain't get off no pack. That mean they weed was trash.
From the playground, it sits on the intersection of Merritt and Baisley Boulevards. Police sources, they tell Fox 5 that there were a lot of people here at the scene, and they called it chaotic at the time of the shooting. While it's unclear whether there were more children here located at the park, but so far police don't know who is responsible. They're trying to get to the bottom of that.
Down in Grand Central, a man was shot and killed by police after slashing 3 random people at the busy transit hub.
Those 3 victims, all of them seniors, are recovering.
What you say, cases? Facts. So you know. So you know, right? That's a fact. Like Jamaica Center is terrible, bro. All around. It's just all around terrible.
Covering tonight after that wild morning underground that sent strap hangers into a mass panic. It all ended with that man armed with a machete being shot dead by police. We'll show you Citizen App video that came into us a little while ago, taking moments.
I ain't gonna front. That Citizen App be keeping you alert. Like I know everything that's going on in my little neighborhood over here in the Bronx right now. I know everything that be going on. It's crazy. Robberies, police catching suspects, guns being found, shots being fired, house fires. Citizens App will have you taking your blood pressure medication for sure, because they just let you know everything. The Queens Boulevard Terminal is yes, it is. It is that stop right before Jamaica. The stop right before Jamaica Queens. That's the one you're talking about? Oh, that means you was over there. You was over there by the airport. Yeah, man. Jamaica Center is just the worst.
After that shooting and all of it unfolding inside busy Grand Central Terminal. Cops say it was around 9:30 this morning when 44-year-old Anthony Griffin boarded a Manhattan-bound 7 train from Queens. When he arrived on the platform, he took out his machete and slashed an 84-year-old man. Then he went up.
How you get a machete on the subway? That's how you know it ain't enough cops, because it used to be cops like standing at the turnstile, and if you look suspicious, they'll give you a quick search. They used to have the message, bags would be searched. Any type of carrying container could be searched, randomly searched at any moment. It's like they stopped that. They must have lost the budget.
Upstairs to the 4, 5, and 6 platform and attacked again, this time shouting Lucifer over and over again as he slashed a 65-year-old man and a 70-year-old woman. When cops arrived,
this bro was out there. Bro was out there slashing senior citizens. What that old lady, old man, what them old folks do to you, bro?
Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch says they repeatedly asked Griffin to drop his machete. When he advanced towards the officers, they fatally shot him.
The individual refused to comply with at least 20 orders to drop the knife. Officers also attempted to de-escalate and offer assistance, saying,
"What's that, Cases? In Manhattan, cops used to be everywhere under Bloomberg." Yeah. Yeah, Bloomberg did run a better city. You know who I ain't like going to? I didn't like Giuliani. Mayor Giuliani, I got caught up in a lot of sweeps that he did. He used to do random sweeps, and I used to hate that, bro. I was telling Anton Daniels that I couldn't even go to the Chinese restaurant or the corner store, which was only like 400 feet from my crib, without getting caught up in one of them sweeps sometimes. I think it was Tuesdays and Thursdays. Niggas act like I was capping. Do you remember that happening? Good evening, y'all. Yeah. Cases and Cam says good evening, everyone. Say hello. Yo, thanks to everybody watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Those are free. If you got a little extra money, Red Bull, Cash App's at the top. I would appreciate it. Get this ready.
"We are going to get you help." He then advanced toward the officers with the knife extended. One officer discharged his firearm, striking the perpetrator twice. Officers immediately began performing life-saving measures.
Yeah, things went south after Bloomberg for sure. What was the other guy after Bloomberg? The what's his name? Bellagio. Yeah, Mayor Bellagio. That was all right, but I guess I didn't get to experience his New York City because I was working the night shift, sanitation, 14 hours every night, 6 days a week. So I was only out in the daytime. So I ain't have to deal with public transportation, man, during that time. That was during the first Trump administration. Life was good. Everything was on auto pay. I remember those days.
The individual was transported to Bellevue Hospital and he was pronounced deceased.
This is a photo showing the suspect now being identified as 44-year-old Anthony Griffin, carried away on a gurney. This was after officers were tried to revive him. Witnesses who work inside Grand Central say they watched as passengers came running out of the subway, some of them screaming and calling for help.
Cases, you never got caught in the sweep? I've been stopped and frisked. Okay, yeah, me too. I've been stopped and frisked a lot between 2003 and 2005. Those were the 2 years where I didn't even like just being outside, because that was when the D's started rolling up in like these regular unmarked cars. Like it could be a Toyota 4Runner and 4 big dudes in Miami shirts that just pop out with a bulletproof vest under it and frisk you. I remember one time I had a foldable knife that was about that big when it was folded, and about that big. Hold on, let me get the camera. Hold on. It was that big folded and that big unfolded, right? And I remember they felt it in my pocket, and they said, "We ain't worry about that knife. We want the guns." I said, "I ain't got no gun, bro. I wear this knife. I carry this knife because you know it's crazy out here." And they let me go too. They ain't even like run my ID or nothing. They was really just looking for guns. I guess a robbery just went down, and I had on you remember we used to wear the North Face with the fur. So you know we all had that, you know, the black and all that. After that, I started getting the orange ones, safety colors, make sure they could see me.
We were
like screaming and this yelling. If we saw like a family of like little kids outside, we would like hurry up and open it and make sure they have like no weapons or anything and they could like stay in. And we just assured them like, guys, just because of protocol, we're gonna keep you guys in here. If you want to go, you can, but it's safer if you like staying here until the cops tell us otherwise.
Mayor Mamdani putting out a statement following this.
Hold on, let me see. Oh yeah, you walking out of nowhere. The whoop whoop. Yep. Sometimes they ain't even whoop whoop. You know what I hated more than the whoop whoop? When they just jump out with guns drawn. Right? They used to just jump out with the guns drawn and the badges wasn't even visible. They wouldn't pull out the badge until they had you up against the wall, like you're back against, literally, you're back against the wall, and then they pull out their badge and start asking, like, where you going and all that. They used to use some harsh, intimidating tactics during those times. Very stressful to walk around the streets of New York City at that time.
Saying I'm grateful to the NYPD for their quick response and for preventing additional violence. The NYPD is conducting an internal investigation and will release body-worn camera footage, as it does in all incidents involving the discharge of an officer's firearm. Governor Hochul also saying she was grateful to the officers who acted quickly to stop that suspect. We're told the MTA has now reopened the 4, 5, and 6 lines. They were bypassing trains for quite some time today, but now the trains are running again. Anthony Griffin had 3 prior arrests. Again, we're told tonight.
Yeah, cases. I think they did that to see if you would draw. I think they was out for blood. You feel me? I think they only did that to see if you would draw. Because if you, like, you know, our gun laws are strict, and usually everybody don't have, like, you know, concealed, let alone a permit for ownership. We definitely didn't have the concealed to carry permit, because that is like extremely hard to get out here, right? So they did that to see if we would draw so they could just light us up, bro. It was an intimidation tactic, man. That's all that was. But if you got caught and you had a strap, you were done. It's over. I think at that time they was giving you, 10 years a bullet. You're getting 5 for the gun if it's unloaded, and you're getting 10 a bullet. And then if you had like an illegal one, which was like what I think anything over 10 in New York was illegal, and you know, everybody getting their guns from the South, so they probably had 15, 16. Like it was crazy. They was giving out football numbers.
Those victims are all expected to fully recover.
Up on the Upper West Side, an NYPD officer on horseback chased down a suspected purse thief, and it was all caught on camera.
The suspect in a purse theft thought they could outrun a police officer, but he was no match for the cop's partner.
Stop! Please stop! Stop! Stop running!
Bro caught him old-fashioned, huh? He caught him on horseback. That's crazy. They say, why you ain't get away? He was on a horse.
All right, the officer's body cam here showing what it's like to ride through city on horseback, under scaffolding, through ladders. Kind of a crazy scene here. The suspect just could not shake the police horse who was hot on his trail.
Bro could have been in the John Wick movie.
He allegedly robbed a woman on 72nd Street, and with the help of witnesses, they were able to apprehend the suspect and return the purse to its owner.
Look at that. Good old-fashioned citizen's arrest.
Told you extensively about a 7-month-old baby who was killed during a shooting in Williamsburg. This week, the suspects in that case went before a judge.
Alleged baby killer accomplice Matthew Rodriguez thought he could outrun the law, but today he was forced to face the full weight of the criminal justice system. He was brought before a judge on murder charges, and on the way to the courthouse proclaimed his innocence. Here's what he had to say.
Matthew, what'd you have to say to the family? I didn't do it. I didn't know it was gonna happen. She was 7 months old. What'd you have to say to the parents? It was not my fault. I didn't pull the trigger.
I didn't do it. I didn't know it was going to happen. It's not my fault. I didn't pull the trigger. Yo, bro, they got you on camera picking up the drop gun and jumping back on the bike. You going to jail? Where my sign? Where my button at? Hold on. I got a button for that.
Jail. Slow jail.
Jail.
Suspect Matthew Rodriguez, 18, went before a judge today in Kings County Supreme Court. He was arraigned on multiple murder, attempted murder, weapons possession, and other charges in the April 1st deadly shooting of 7-month-old Kaori Patterson Moore. The infant was struck by a bullet to her head while sitting in her stroller.
Oh, damn. I know she got hit. Well, damn, a baby getting hit anywhere is bad, but she got hit in the head. Little baby girl. No gun law is going to stop that gun from being on the street. And these stupid niggas just be firing into a crowd like they can't even shoot. Like, what were you shooting at? How did you hit a baby in a stroller? Who were you shooting at? No women, no children. Remember that? That was gangster. No women, no children. You hit a baby in the head, bro. I hate
niggas. I love black people. Honest, hardworking, law-abiding black people. Niggas like you make me sick.
Niggas like that.
He was allegedly busy on the run trying to cover up his crimes. This morning, the NYPD added charges of witness tampering and obstruction. He pleaded not guilty through his lawyer and is being held without bail. The judge denied that request. NYPD detectives took the alleged shooter.
I guess that's just like protocol for lawyers to ask for bail. He was implemented in a crime where a baby got hit in the head with a bullet. Ain't no bail for that, bro. He should be on Rikers Island right now getting beat up daily. They need to take him to the section with the gladiator school. That's where he need to be. He need to be in gladiator school.
21-year-old Amuri Green into custody immediately, but circulated this wanted flyer for Rodriguez.
Look at him. That's him driving the bike. That's him driving the bike. And I think this clip is him trying to ditch the outfit. Yeah, jail.
Rodriguez. Police say he was on the run for days, but eventually tracked down by NYPD detectives and the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Apprehension Task Force in Pennsylvania. He was extradited and brought to the 9-0 precinct. And despite Rodriguez telling the cameras today that he was innocent, the Brooklyn DA says there is plenty of evidence to prove otherwise. Here's what he said.
Theory is that they acted together to commit this crime. He assisted by driving him.
Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. Hold on. I'll be right back. Yeah, my bad, y'all. Sorry for the interruption.
He assisted by taking off after the shooting. He assisted because after the crash, he picked up the firearm. That firearm has not been recovered. We know that the other defendant was injured and was left on the ground, and he eventually went to the hospital. That gun wasn't.
Oh, so they discarded the firearm, huh? That's a crime right there. Discarded firearm, tampering with evidence during the investigation. Yeah, y'all both gonna sit down for a while. Somebody gonna do that 25 for that murder. And it's looking like light skin gonna snitch. Obviously, light skin didn't pull a trigger, but give him 20. Give him 20. He could hold 20 for that. Even though you ain't do it, you were the driver. Go sit down for 20. Give him a good 20.
On him. So where is that gun?
Now you can see the memorial here at the scene where baby Kaori lost her life. It continues to grow. People still very sad and grieving about this situation. As for the shooter, 21-year-old Amuri Green, he's expected to be in court and be arraigned tomorrow afternoon on murder and other charges. And both of the two suspects, if they're found guilty, are looking at the possibility of multiple lifetimes behind bars.
And finally, we end out on Long Island, where a 15-year-old boy was killed and 2 others were injured in a shooting at Eisenhower Park during a gathering, police say.
Now, I'm going to give Mondani some credit. This one not considered New York City. It's still New York. But this don't count towards New York City.
Was tied to the Bloods gang.
Police telling us that the
the Wolves was out there? The Wolves? What the Wolves do?
Bloods gang used Eisenhower Park last night as a meeting place. Now, the park is open to the public, but over at Field 2, where the shooting took place, there is crime tape up in one section there, and police still here at the scene. Now, according to police, it was just before 8:30 last night when 911 calls started to come in of shots fired inside Eisenhower Park. 3 people were shot, including a 15-year-old boy who was killed. Police come in.
Another 15-year-old? Like, why do you? This is why parents didn't want us to go outside. But like, my homies never was yeah, I mean, we've been around shootouts, but none of us got hit. I guess we was more aware of our surroundings, man. Niggas be having their head down in their phone too much. You know what I mean? Like, another 15-year-old hit.
Commissioner Patrick
Killed. Oh no, I can't say that word, right? Unalived, right? Crazy how they policing speech these days. 15, damn.
Ryder says this was a gathering for Bloods gang members. He says an invite went out on social media to show up here for a so-called barbecue. The group was grilling when police say an argument broke out between 2 individuals and then shots were fired. Police arresting 2 people here at the scene who they say were armed with guns.
But it was basically an invite for Blood gang members. One of the victims stated that he was told to come here for a meeting. So that meeting was by the Blood organization. And these kids are from the Bronx. They're from Suffolk County.
Oh, not the Bronx. What you doing in Long Island, bro? Well, yeah, the highway right there. Damn.
I haven't found one kid yet that's from Nassau County. We're not going to tolerate what happened tonight. It will be addressed.
Well, damn, I guess it does count for New York, right? These niggas is from the Bronx and Suffolk County. Long Island is Suffolk County and Nassau County. Damn.
Going forward, there won't be no more parties like this in the park.
Now we can't barbecue in the park because y'all want to shoot the park up before the summer. Just messing it up for everybody.
Now, the shooting happened as the park was closing. Again, a 15-year-old boy was killed. His identity still unknown at this time. As for the other 2 victims, they were taken to the hospital.
We got 2 15-year-olds killed this weekend in New York. We got a baby unalived by a stray in New York. Oh, hold on, y'all. It looked like Cuff Boys just dropped a new video. Hold on. Yeah. Cuff Boys dropped a new video. Talking about the murder weapon. So we could get back into this David situation.
Daddy, chill.
Facts. We can get back into this David situation. Hold on. Let me get this queued up. Let me get this right.
The felony complaint documents have been released in the David murder case, and some people.
Hold on. He got the documents. My boy Cuff Boys don't let me down, bro. he be on it. I wonder what he do. He just watch the news all day. But yeah, this video is only what 3 hours, 3 hours old. So we gonna see what's up. He said he got the federal documents being released. So let's get into that.
The felony complaint documents have been released in the David murder case, and some people think they figured out the murder weapon. All right, boys, here we go. We got the people of the state of California versus David Anthony Burke. Bro was born in 2005. That is crazy. I
graduated high school in 2005. Damn.
I'm Onk now. On April 23rd, 2025, County of Los Angeles, the crime of murder was committed by David Anthony Burke, who did unlawfully and with malice aforethought murder Celeste. Forensic data like phone evidence and all that, probably got text messages of him inviting her over on that date.
My bad, y'all. I was getting the lower third back. Let me run it back.
Burke, bro was born in 2005. That is crazy. I am Onk now. On April 23rd, 2025, County of Los Angeles, the crime of murder was committed by David Anthony Burke, who did unlawfully and with malice aforethought murder Celeste, a human being. So they pinpointed April 23rd through witness testimony, digital forensic data like phone evidence and all that, probably got text messages of him inviting her over on that date. I don't believe this date was public. I know the last known picture of her was early January 2025. It's further alleged that the murder of Celeste was intentional and was carried out, but
Guardian Dog, thanks for tuning in. Yes, man, it's been wild, bro. It's been a wild week. We've been taking so many L's this week as a community, right? Especially with all these sisters coming up unalived. I got to do a show about that. I'm gonna need the men to come to the front of the congregation when I do the show. I might have an open panel for that one because we got to have a serious discussion on how to make these women feel safe because they're not feeling safe right now. And if you put yourself in their shoes, which we usually are in their shoes because we be out here offing each other, the women are really scared of the men, man. It's been a tough week, man. It's been a tough week.
the defendant for financial gain. It's further alleged that Celeste was a witness to a crime and was intentionally killed because of that fact. She's a witness to her being essayed because she's a minor. It's further alleged that the murder of Celeste was committed by defendant David Burke, and the defendant intentionally killed the victim by means of lying in wait within the meaning, blah, blah, blah. So he planned to do it. This was all a big plan. He lured her to his house. He knew he was going to have to do it because she probably was threatening him at some point. And here's the sharp instrument part. David Anthony Burke personally used a deadly weapon, sharp instrument. Now, here are the counts for the sexual charges: September 7, 2023 and September 7, 2024.
And they only saying it's a sharp instrument because she's so, I can't stress this enough, she's so far decomposed. Like, it's disgusting.
For a full year time frame. Essay committed by David Anthony Burke. I'm sure they have so many text messages between the two, right? Whatever app it is, they got a search warrant. They got all the text messages. They probably got a phone dump download. Did they ever find her phone? I feel like they never found her phone, if I were to guess. There's so many things we don't know. Count 3. On or about May 5th, 2025, in the county of LA, the crime of unlawful mutilation of human remains was committed by David Anthony Burke. I'm really shocked no one else is charged yet, because I just thought there had to be more than just him involved. Like I really doubt he did this alone, but they haven't charged anyone else yet. But what this means is they're saying she died around April 23rd and she wasn't dismembered until May 5th. So that is what? 12 days of her being dead in his house, figuring out what to do, panicking is what they're alleging.
Oh, hold on.
Died around April 23rd and she wasn't dismembered until May 5th. So that is what? 12.
So they think she was off on the 23rd and was dismembered on May 5th. Here we go. It's getting juicy. It's not looking good. Polo, if you still here, it's not looking good for your boy. It's not your boy, but it ain't looking good for David, man.
12 days of her being dead in his house, figuring out what to do, panicking is what they're alleging. This shit is so disturbing. Now, Steve Fisher thinks he figured out the murder weapon. He says the murder charges filed against David Anthony Burke allege that he lured Celeste to his residence and killed her on April 23rd using a sharp instrument. On April 24th and 25th, screenshots from social media videos and posts appear to show a lateral wound on David's hand. He wrote, "You guys can't bully me anymore" in the
So he dry snitching on his social media. He did that. Allegedly. I think he did it though. I think he did it at this point. Look, you guys can't bully me anymore because they was going to tell on you, you freakazoid.
Caption. Additionally, photos recovered from an SD card in David's camera show a knife he photographed several months earlier. That knife has ridges on the handle, which, if he held in a stabbing grip and used very aggressively, could produce a lateral wound consistent with the injury visible in David's hand. So here's the picture of the alleged wound. This is literally April 25th, 2025. So
Bro posting and showing the wound and laughing. Look, he wasn't laughing in court when we just saw him. Look at his face. He's smiling. He's showing the wound. He thought he got rid of that body. Stupid. Stupid. Heartless.
within hours of him murdering her. Crazy shit. I mean, it does look like that could be a wound from a knife. This is the day after he allegedly murdered her. Your prayers have been answered. It's finally here. My album drops tomorrow. Another zoomed in shot of the hand with the alleged wound on it. This picture of the knife handle we've seen before. It could be a wound from her fighting him. In the Brian Koberger case, he had wounds on his hands. He covered his hands up, wore gloves and shit after murdering those 4 college students.
There was a sort of veiled threat from the defense there that they want to proceed. They don't want to waive time for a preliminary hearing. They want their hearing in 15 days. The reality of that is that the
lawyer trying to rush it because she know he's cooked. But she got to do her job. Her job is defense. She's no Annalisa Cunning from the movie, from the show, How to Get Away with Murder. Wow, and he's really trying to get away with murder. It's funny how art does this, man. What you said, brother? Let me see what was that last one? Hold on, this thing's jumping around. Yeah, he more than a clown. He's stupid. He's stupid. He's straight up stupid. He passed clown. He's stupid. That's why.
What do you mean you don't agree with me?
Daddy, chill.
This nigga's dumb. Then he gonna hide the body in the trunk. He's stupid. He deserved to rot in prison.
The discovery is not going to be ingested by them before the prelim.
Yeah, it's too much discovery, even if they get it. I think he is going to waive his right to a speedy trial. I think there's going to be too much evidence for them to have to go through. And
Rose, how that trading going for you? You ain't check in for that trading. Check in for that trade. I want to know how if you doing good, if you figured it out. How you doing? Good evening. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Make sure you like that video too. Yeah, this is it's more than what I'm starting to think. Sometime during 2012, we entered into a parallel universe. We entered into Earth series because it's getting crazy out here in these streets.
days. It's just not possible for certain cases, especially a case like this. It's going to be very complex. A lot of pages and pages of email bullshit, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, pages and pages, probably videos of his live streams with Celeste. Because remember, he was on live stream with her.
Remember, we already discovered that it's 40 terabytes. That is a lot. So it ain't pages, it's data.
On Twitch. It's just going to be tons of evidence. So there's no way this trial starts in June.
It's a strategy to push and at least get the state to comply with transferring discovery. Do you think there's any chance that they hold on to this and ask for not only the prelim but then a speedy trial?
No, I think that it's going to have to take its course. But I have to say, Ted, there are 2 things based on the reporting that's out there that are very wobbly and odd to me. As, again, a person who's investigated these cases, I've had bodies in the trunk cases where the person driving the vehicle was not the person who committed the homicide.
Damn, he said I had bodies in the trunk cases. Who he worked for, the mob? Like, who is this nigga?
Homicide. So prosecutors have to make connections here. And this poor young woman whose body was decomposed and deteriorated, what we are hearing from other news outlets and maybe Court TV as well, is that the medical examiner and prosecutors are in a battle with one another because the medical examiner is not giving the prosecutor the cause of death that they would prefer, and saying that because of the status of the body that they can't make the call as the cause and manner of death. That is,
yeah, like I was saying earlier in the stream, trying to figure out the cause of death on a decomposed body is nothing more than like an educated guess at this point, you know? All we know is when she went over there, she was alive and she never left. She left via tow truck to the pound because she was in 2 bags in the frunk of a Tesla. You feel me? So what I would do is I would say through what they call it, laceration, stab wounds or something like that. I don't know what the official medical term is.
It's a huge problem. I've had this problem between a medical examiner's office that's an independent agency versus mine, and we don't play well in the sandbox on a case. It can be a brutal, devastating thing to the prosecutors in the case.
So that is a thing. I know it's crazy. There's a body in this car. He murdered her. I know that's like what the layperson thinks. They need more than that. If all they have is a body in your trunk, you're going to need to tell this jury how this guy killed her. And that's what he's discussing here. When he did it, what was the murder weapon? Is there any DNA involved? Is there surveillance video of anything? Is there any incriminating text messages? Is there phone tracking data? Like, they need more than just the body in the car. Because the defense is obviously going to go up there and be like,
that's another reason why that officer in that press conference was pushing for that SA charge with special circumstances for dealing with a minor, because if he didn't do it, he knew it happened, right? Because I think when he got arrested, they said he was arrested for concealment of a body, right? So I guess now the charges is being upgraded into these more serious charges as they find out more information. But in 2 days' time, we're gonna know what it really is.
it wasn't David that did it. It's someone around him that did it or some shit. Like, they're going to point to someone else. Just add that reasonable doubt. All you need is doubt. Remember, in these murder trials, it's all you need.
We hear is that there was a grand jury investigation that was in the process, I believe, for a number of months as it's being reported, and that the police filed the charges here rather than finish the completion of the grand jury investigation that's going on, which may mean that the police and prosecutors are on opposite sides of how they feel this case should be unfolding. Something strange about that. As a prosecutor, chief law enforcement officer, usually you're in control. If something like that happens, it tells me there's trouble in paradise. Just two little tidbits to look out for, some inside baseball here as to that this may not be a slam dunk for prosecutors. Something wobbly in my mind is happening.
I'm really focusing on these murder in the first degree charges because there are three separate special circumstances. One, that David is alleged to have been lying in wait. Two, that he did this for financial gains. And three, that he did this to silence a witness. And when you put those three together as a narrative and you heard the presser, what they're arguing here is that because of the relationship that David had, I believe he was 20 or 19 at the time, in which Celeste was alive when she was then 14, he's with a minor. And the allegations are that David committed this crime not only to hide the fact that he was having this relationship, that's that witness part, but also to save his career, because the obvious assumption is if this was public, he would have lost everything. That's that financial gain part. And then lying in wait is the one really intriguing to me, because that tells me the prosecution has some level of information to say that David somehow lured Celeste into an area, waited, and then sprung some sort of trap on her, causing her to be murdered.
It's got to be text messages inviting her over on one of these apps: iMessage, Instagram, Snapchat, Discord, some shit. They have to.
I think they got to subpoena the individual companies to know which one. Then they got to have Celeste account names and stuff like that. I think the internet did a great job already finding her accounts, but then I guess like when you change your name, well, I hope they got her device, or through her cell phone carrier, they could get like an IP address or something like that, and then submit it to these said Discords and Snapchats and Instagrams to pull that data. Because if it was on the web, it's there. You just have to know where to look.
Have evidence of him talking to her and inviting her over that day.
In LA, they had record high heats in August. I think even just a few days before her body was found, it was in the triple digits in temperature. inside of a trunk, inside 2 different plastic bags, her body would be heavily decomposed. But if they can,
I actually remember this. I'm in the LA area. It was hot as fuck in August. I remember this few days here that he's talking about. Wow.
find anything in terms of toxicology or any kind of injuries on the bone fragments that were still found, and then have some sort of corroboration with a witness, like someone close to David who said, yes, he did X, Y, and Z, that information, that corroboration could be very damning for David's case. Yeah, so the fact that we have these special circumstances along with the murder charges, that lying in wait, the financial gain, the going after a witness, that allows them to upgrade a murder.
Well, there you go. We got a possible murder weapon, right? She was found in his car, right? He was messing with her when he was an adult and she was a minor, right? Now it's just up to the DA to prove this in court, man. Like, I don't know. I mean, it sounds pretty straightforward, but you know how the law works. It's all spooky language, witch language, and stuff like that. But yo, that's my show for the night. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I hope y'all enjoyed the commentary. And this is CEO. I'm signing outie.